very much.
Thank you, Ms. Gomes. Any questions or comments? Thank you. Mr. Brian Pitts. Mr. Pitts, you're on.
Brian Pitts, Just Jesus. Thank you very much to the Leon body. I'll deal with 3 issues relatively quickly. First issue is, as you know, state great grand wide jury is produced to report. The people have spoken. People setting up shop out in New York, and that's on federal ground. They could be doing it here, and that's all based around the ethics issue. Don't believe that their government officials are doing behind their backs what they need to be doing. Actually doing the opposite. Well, we got 2 grade wide jury reports. Last session, y'all had 2088 Senate bill. Somebody needs to bring it back again. That was a start, and it was not too rough. It was not too, comfortable either, but it woke you up. It made you, okay, look, you haven't done it. 552 has been filed. Doherty has filed that, and the House member with Costello watered it down, worse than what the bill they had filed last session. No. You need to make a real bill. Be brave or tell your colleagues, take up 2088 again and amend stuff onto that. That is what the people asked for. Not what I said. That's in the report. 11.13, Florida statute. This is still on the ethics issue. 11.13, Florida statute. Guess what that's supposed to be? Your powers and duties and your real salaries. If you go look at that statute, what does it say? Not your real salaries, and none of your powers and duties are cited. Uh-oh. Guess what the Constitution says? Of all county and state officers, their powers and duties and compensation shall be as by law. That's in the Constitution. Since 1968, that was changed. Nobody has ever put y'all powers and duties. And the salary that is in there is $18,000. Y'all make $29,000. Now, a person wouldn't know that unless they read it through EDR, or media does stories from time to time letting you know what your real salaries are. Don't you know, actually, that's actually would be a criminal offense if somebody was bold, a prosecutor? Now, of course, they ain't gonna go in and get all 140 of y'all and say, y'all under arrest for misconduct in office, common law offense. Y'all need to deal with 11.13. Y'all made the oath to protect and defend and uphold the Constitution. Well, that's in the Constitution. JQC, get rid of them. As you know, the first district judge is now on their slate. Now, committees on court in 2008 in the House found that the JQC was not doing at all what they were supposed to. At that time, Ambler was in the House, and a couple of other members who was on committee of courts. They got cold feet and said, okay, let's not do anything. No, that's not what the people want. You need to save yourself $900,000. This is still on ethics because they're supposed to deal with the ethical component of judges. No, they're not. That first district judge will get off probably on a public reprimand because he did apologize to y'all on committee, at least in the Senate. So he's going to get off. That's typical. Get rid of him, save yourself $900,000, and this is what you do. Tuck that component into the elections ethics on commission on ethics. That way you will have authority that check. Now, of course, you have to do that in a resolution, but that's the best way to deal with that. We know the JQC is not working. The people don't have a clue. They think it's working. Some don't even know JQC exists if there really is anything you can do about a judge in misconduct. That's on ethics. That's just on ethics. Economic development. Y'all heard what Mr. Darling said, DEO. Y'all passed this bill. He actually not really telling y'all what y'all want to hear. In fact, now that you look at the bill, he says, that's not what we want you to do. Guess what? TBRC in 2007, 2008 gave y'all how to deal with economic issues when it comes to revenue. It's still sitting in their handouts. One of the things they deal with was the streamlined tax. Other things they deal with, which y'all did not take advantage of, was the online services that do the booking. It's still sitting there in those now dusty coffers. They deal with everything you could think of concerning how can we spark revenue. This is all in economic development. Y'all passed the bill for unemployment compensation, doing an assessment. They don't go far enough. You want to get out of the coffers of unemployment the people on unemployment. Well, what's the best way to do that? Get them the same job they had, or get them quick training to get them new work. No brainer. So you can stop that money bleeding from unemployment compensation and hurting existing businesses. Well, nobody came up with that idea. You're trying to patchwork and get ready and figure out how to do this, and now you got to figure out how to deal with DEO because that specific executive director don't know how to figure it out. Now the last point, the criminal justice reform. As you know, in this very courthouse, they struck the privatization, and rightly so, in an Appropriations Act. But here's one thing you missed. When you're doing a criminal justice reform like you've been talking, that would include county. Remember, they deal with jails. So it's not only prisons, jails too. Now, how you going to do one without the other and they simultaneous? All the person going to do is now they'll be stuck in county jail. They just won't go to prison and can have consecutive 1-year sentences. That person that reoffended or recidivism. So you won't be solving the problem by just dealing with it. You got to deal with it wholly. Now, here's the thing. Florida Statute 950, Florida Statute 951 is all the criminal requirements for counties. Y'all haven't touched those statutes for years. Now, here's how bad it is. Even in this county. I dealt with it in my county as well. Majority of the sheriffs that run those jails are not even authorized. The county commissioners of each county that has those jails has to issue an ordinance, or like in Hernando County, they had Corporations of Corrections of America. When they decided, finally, they said, we want to get rid of the contract entity and bring on the sheriff. Guess what they did? Went into 951. Oh, we got to make an ordinance. Otherwise, the sheriff is unauthorized. Leon County has not authorized their sheriff either. You got an unauthorized officer manning your jail. They could do a class action against you based on unauthorized personnel and say false imprisonment. What I'm saying to you on this point again is this: that is an issue of criminal justice reform. Yeah, your prisons need to be run right. Yeah, DLC need to be run right, but the jails do too. And that's covered in 950 and 951. Not only that, we know by the Orlando Sentinel and other stories that the Florida jail model standards are not being complied with on the county level. Remember, that's what keep them intact. And remember, last session, y'all passed legislation to now have that same sheriff association make model standards for the juvenile centers now. I'm not sure if any of y'all once saw the thing in Polk County where now they have begun that to put them together. But here's the problem. Y'all haven't dealt with the counties on how to do reform. So I'm saying, when you do reform, when you go back across the street, you can't do just DOC prisons. You have to do them both, or you're going to stick the counties with it. I'm telling you right now before I shoot you in the foot. So thank you very much, and good day.
Thank you, Mr. Pitts. Any comments or questions? We appreciate you being here, Mr. Pitts. Ann Davis.